he didn't say to me, I'm going to create a farm, and it's going to have all these elements. But at the same time, it wasn't like it took a really long time for all these pieces to come together.
I guess I tiptoed into it. I started with a single strawberry guava tree, and then I started thinking about what other fruit trees do I want to grow? Oh, well, pomegranate grows well around here, and pistachios grow well. I started thinking about other trees that I could grow, and I already had a little garden. I thought, oh, well, if I expand my garden, look at all the things that I could do.
It's almost like when he's planning the vegetable garden, he's not just fully focused on the vegetable garden. He goes, oh, well, I could have chickens.
What about non-vegetable sources? Started thinking about chickens and the eggs that I could get from the chickens. And then I started thinking about milk, and I thought goats, and then I thought, well, maybe mini goats.
He's got the goats, and he's got the chickens, and he's got the trees that bear the fruit.
This is great, but then all my harvest is coming during one time a year. So I started thinking about how do I preserve that food. That got me into my solar dehydrator, which dries food and makes it last longer.
And then he's canning, and he's making cheese, and not just one kind of cheese, but multiple kinds of cheese.
All aspects of sustainability tend to support each other. So the deeper you go, the easier it is to do more.
Lots of people have vegetable gardens, but it's really more than a vegetable garden. It's like a mini farm.
I think what Forrest is doing at his home is very consistent with what he's preaching to the world. He walks the walk.
Right, when you see a chicken coop and vegetables organically being grown, I mean, that is walking the walk.
He lives sustainably, and his work focuses on sustainability.
I could tell just by talking to him that there's a passion, and we both are on the same page. We're looking for innovation in green design. We're looking for new products. We're looking for the latest technologies.
Humans don't learn wisdom very well. We learn a lot about technology. We learn a lot about what's new and what's better and what's more interesting, but we really need to learn a little bit more wisdom. When I first graduated from Berkeley, I tried opening a sustainable design and construction firm, but I couldn't get any clients. It was like the time was not right. I just couldn't find a single client. So the day it was born, it just survived on air until I had to just say, no, I'm going to take traditional types of construction.
The problem I was having was as a builder, I was getting plans, and I would put numbers to these plans for sustainable buildings, and the numbers were not even close to the client's budget.
If something presents itself, he's very good at recognizing it and stepping into it and making it happen.
In 2003, I decided the climate has changed, the time is right, and I said, I'm going to do nothing but sustainable design and construction. I'm not going to do any other types of projects anymore. And everybody said, you're crazy, what are you thinking? You've got all these clients, everybody's happy, or you've got this thing going, you're going to ruin everything. When I made the decision, I did feel that the time was right and that was important. But I also felt that I don't live forever. I've got to do what I really want to do, and if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? The first few months of opening the firm, everybody was on tenterhooks because nobody knew whether it was going to be successful or not. There were a lot of people who had children to feed.
So I was looking for a company that did architectural design and building under one roof. And so when I found Inhabiture and Forrest, that I got very excited, and I was very excited to be able to join their team.
There was a nail-biting period of time, but it was not long before the first people walked in the door saying, hey, you're just what I was looking for, and then the next, and then the next, and pretty soon we're off and running and never looked back.
I believe if you do what you're passionate about, particularly if it's a cause, then you can be wildly successful.
Right now, with the recession going on, there are a lot of contractors that are hurting for work right now. And I've never seen any company this busy in my life.
When you have a success in your business, you first start by thinking, wow, look at how much I can do. And you get really excited and really confident about all that you can change. But then soon you realize how big the world is.
He sees opportunity to do more, right? That being green isn't limited to one sphere for him. Being green is not just about being vegetarian or just about doing green building, but that he's looking for every angle and avenue he can to express that.
So when we think about green building, we're going to be thinking not about just isolated applications, but how we can use many things together to create a product that is much, much better than its individual parts.
Once I started getting into sustainable agriculture on a urban scale, I found a lot of people were also interested in this topic. People were interested in learning how to make cheese, how to make kefir, how to dry foods. And pretty soon classes would be coming over and learning how to milk the goats and make the cheese, and that's kind of fun to be able to spread that knowledge and teach others about sustainable living. Humans have a fairly short lifespan. We live about 75 years. We spend about 20 of those years growing up. We spend about 20 of those years dying. That leaves, maybe 35 or 40 years of which we can impact the world and of which we have a really good perception of what's happening in the world. That's not a great deal of time. I just want to try my whole life and work really hard my whole life to do the best that I can do, and I'll consider it a successful life if I spend my whole life doing that. And if I give up, I'd be so unhappy with myself. Failing's fine, but giving up is not an option. Although I don't think I'm having a global impact at all, what I am trying to do is I'm trying to learn about how to live, and hopefully others also will add to that, and we can all learn how to live a better life.